Welcome to the True North Racing Podcast, your go-to show for all things racing from coast to coast. We're here to chat with your favorite racers and bring you the latest from the world of short track racing. Hosted by John Morrison and Brandon Feeney. Get ready for fast cars, big personalities, and all the racing action you can handle. Ready? Green, green, green.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the True North Racing Podcast presented by Driving with Haley. I'm your host, John Morrison. Joining me, as always, Brandon Feeney. Tonight, we are being joined by Justin Collison. Justin, how's it going, man?
It's going pretty good. How about you, boys?
Doing pretty good for a Wednesday night, you know?
Yeah.
Sorry, Feeney.
Wednesday night, work on race cars. We get to go racing soon.
Yep. The weather right now is looking pretty nice, but, well, it's calling for rain over the weekend, but hopefully it doesn't rain because I think there's practice this weekend at Delaware.
Oh, hopefully, fingers crossed, toes crossed that it doesn't rain, because I was already excited when I saw that race cars were on track last weekend. And then, of course, I forgot that Merrittville starts before like everyone else as they start running this weekend.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about any of that. We're here to talk about this new series that was formed at for Flamboro Speedway called the Steel City Rumble Series. Justin, you had a big hand in getting this going. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's a 5-race deal. It's spread out pretty well once a month. So it's kind of a nice schedule for guys. They don't have to, ditch the wife on the weekend when the family trip's got to go to college or something. They can actually have a life and hang out with the wife and stuff. It's all around. It's been going good. Having a lot of good comments on it. There's a lot of interest in I got 13 confirmed guys that are going to run all 5 races. So, and it's only growing from here. So it's been going good. One thing though, we're, Flamboro, it always had good racing for the super stocks. And, I sucks that they had to cancel the class, 2 years ago. Actually, longer. No, yeah. That was 2 years ago, I think. It had to cancel the class. And, it's just been, I want to get the cars back there every week. And I sat down with Mike Schmidt and said, hey, I got this idea. Let me know if it's a dumb idea or not. And he said he liked it. He liked the sounds of it. And he told me, let's go approach it to John. So I did. And, John, he's put a lot of faith in me on this. Obviously, he already put a lot of faith in me last year at FrostFest, and it worked out huge. There was crazy support. We had 23 cars. I think that was the most for every playoff race all year. I think, the special at Sunset, I think there was 21 or 22. But it was crazy. The support was there. And it kind of, sparked the idea that, this is possible. I can do it at Flamboro, and so far so good. There hasn't been any bad said about it. Good positive feedback, and it's growing. I'm excited.
Can you get some there?
I was going to say, with this 5-race deal, so is it going to be the obviously it's the same rules across provinces of cars? Is there any big dates that are close to like the tour dates that are close to this the 5 dates, or?
Yes, actually. The Edgar Excavating Night, which is July 5th, there's twin 25s, and it's actually the week right before the Dayco Superstock race at Flamboro. So with my thinking there was actually splitting it up to 2 races, because I know a lot of guys are going to come and practice prior to the week before. You might as well get paid to practice.
Yeah.
So splitting up for 2 features is kind of, the guy can take a swing on the car in the first feature, and if it doesn't work out, he's got time to do adjustments for the second feature, just to, help those guys that are going to come practice basically for the week before, kind of get time in between to get the cars better for the Dayco race. So the Dayco race is probably going to be a good show, because there's no excuse for guys not to get the cars dialed in the week before.
I love that idea of getting it set up just the week before, so you're enticing more guys to come out, which is what you want.
Yeah, Yeah, pretty much. And like like with the 13 confirmed guys, like we get an extra 5, even 7 cars. All of a sudden now we got a 20-car field on a Saturday night in Flamboro in the super stock class, which is it's going to be good to see, and I hope that's how it works out.
And the super stock's always been one of the good classes at Flamborough. It's like they have just enough room to run two by two all the way through the field. Sometimes 3x3 if you have enough crazy people that are out there.
Yeah,
And like
I've
it's
done it.
it's one of those tracks that it can either go green to checkered or it's going to be action packed is I think the best way to say it.
Yeah, that's for sure. Like the Daco series, I think all of them, except for last year, I think they all were pretty well green and checkered, with maybe one caution. I know last year it got a little chaotic there a couple times, but like Frostfest, there was only one caution, and or no, I guess there was two. There was two cautions, I think. But yeah, you know what I mean. Like that's still pretty clean racing, especially since Frostfest was a 50 lapper. Why all the Dacos are 50 lappers as well. So the Super Stocks put on a show at Flamborough, and I just want to continue having them at Flamborough because John pretty well was about to bail on them. So
Yeah.
this is kind of the rebirth of them coming back to Flamborough.
And then, which is good. Like, it's great that we have someone like yourself, really trying to revitalize the division, because I've been a part of the Super Stocks as a crew member in the past, and it's tough when on average they were really only getting maybe 5 to 6 cars a night. It's so tough to
Yeah.
watch. But to be fair, it's great to see, because you're what, like 20, 25, 26, I want to say.
No, actually, I'm 28.
Oh, god damn. Okay. Okay,
I
2
wish I was
years.
25 some days, but
But you know what though? You're still young enough to be able to, you're driving, you're competing, and you're also stepping into a promoter role, which is great to see because we don't see that very much. And for a guy like yourself, you have history at Flamboro Speedway. You've been going there since you were knee high to a grasshopper. And I'm gonna be honest, when you came on the screen at first, I actually thought you were your dad. Because I'm
yeah,
like,
I've been getting
holy
that a lot.
crap, you look like your
Yeah,
dad.
I've been getting that a lot lately. Actually, I think I got to shave.
I was gonna say definitely the mustache.
It's
Yeah,
that, yeah, it's the
definitely.
mustache.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
it's great that you want to have the super stocks really, you know, come back and play at Flamborough, because we keep saying this over and over again. It's a great track, great facility for super stocks to run. It's just getting the cars out. And I think a 5 race series, and I'm looking at the notes here that you sent me. You're looking at 500 a win a week,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
with a points payout for 2,000 for the
yeah,
top guy. Like, how could you turn that down? Turn that down?
That's
yeah.
better than the tour, isn't it, for the points?
No, actually, they just upped it this year. Same with their weekly payout. They just upped it this year. Actually, their weekly payout, or well, not the weekly, but the tour race, each race payout, it actually kind of mimics a lot of like what I raised for Frostfest, which is good to see.
Yeah.
It was getting a struggle to run that series, and that's kind of why with this series we kind of put a limit on new tires, because the tour, it gets pretty expensive just to compete, and the tour just on budget of the tire cost. So kind of limiting how many new tires you got. I think it's only 5 races. Obviously these are less laps than the Daco deal. But it's a lot of guys. There's a lot of cars sitting at home, and they just can't afford to come race because they, tires for a whole year, like if they're not but like inventoried or controlled, like you're just basically bringing a knife to a gunfight. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of guys. It deters guys not to come. So that's kind of why we have it limited on it. And literally everybody that's reached out to me, that's been like the praise that they've literally said when they're reaching out to me.
Now,
So I got
sorry,
I
go
got
ahead,
the
Peter.
dumb question from while we're speaking about tires. as a somewhat Peterborough representative. Because Peterborough runs on their own island with the tire, would somebody from Peterborough be allowed to run that tire if they were running the series?
Um, Honestly, I would say yeah. Those tires are a huge disadvantage compared to American Racer. Like speed wise, I'm talking about time wise, and like a car come to the races, a car come to the races. You know what I mean? Yeah, like running those tires, I think would hurt guys coming. Obviously, it'd be nice with the used tires that they got used tires from someone like American Racers, so then they can compete and go for the win kind of thing. You know what I mean? But if the guy's stuck with what he's got, I don't see a problem. That's more of a Glenn Hills question, but Glenn's been pretty flexible on this. Kind of working on getting a depth rule for the used tires and stuff. So I can't see that being a problem.
Now,
I just
as
figured
I'm
I'd ask because the Peterborough thing it's going to come up at one point in time. May as well get ahead of it, right?
Yeah, yeah. Now for sure, Frostfest they're gonna have to run American Racers. That's like the special, and we'll obviously see how burnt out I am by the midsummer here organizing all this stuff. But I would again like to put bonus money up for Frostfest again. That worked out real good, and hopefully it can grow, expand from how it was last year. It'd be
and
nice to send car. It'd be nice to see some cars go home.
speaking of bonus money, I already looking here with the under the points fund that you sent me. You have $150 bonus going to each race to a mid pack car, and is that the one that's sponsored by Maurice's Hot Rod?
Yeah, so Morris, he's going to put up a $150 bonus, and so at the drivers' meeting or the general meeting, we to make it fair because it actually with the $150 bonus, and it's pretty much $200 to start. They're kind of making the same as second place. So from 6th to 15th, it's going to be a random draw every night to who gets that bonus. So it's going to be it's kind of fair. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that a lot. And then of course you also have a hard charger award. You're looking at best appearing
Yeah.
card, rookie of the year. And you're looking for more bonuses to come weekly and for yearly. You know, if you think you're busy, you're busy setting up for Frosttoberfest. I think you might be a little busy setting up for their whole season here.
No, no, for sure. And like, there's if everything in the next week or two here, there's going to be some more announcements of bonuses get revealed. I'm in a talk with a lot of people right now, but it's just balancing out where those bonuses are going and stuff like that. And obviously
Understandable.
working with the sponsor to like what they want to do.
Yep.
So that's been kind of a bit of a struggle sometimes. But no, it's going to be good. And, even like the one sponsor I'm working on is just a one battery night to hand out for the whole field, like a draw.
Wow.
Everybody that shows up, someone's gonna be leaving with a new battery. Um, it's little small stuff like that that entices guys to come to the races.
Absolutely. And of course then it's no excuse if you lose power if you lose power the next race if you have a new battery the week before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No,
No,
that's
for sure.
really cool though.
Yeah, and it's like the hard charger award. Like obviously, the grand prize is the $2,000 and the custom belt. The custom belt is I'm pretty excited to release that. It's going to be the first date we're going to probably have it released to the public is going to be July 5th. Cogeco TV, they're covering that race, and they want to do a big spotlight on it for
Oh,
streaming stuff. So, but it's going to be pretty cool that. And then the hard charger, I want to working on finalizing for actual bonuses throughout the year, and then at the end of the year, I'm making I got a pretty cool trophy that I'm making for the hard charger champion of the year. And how that's going to work is not how many cars you pass in the race, like so if you just start at the back, you get the fifth, you get dumped, and you go back up. That's not how it's going to work. It's basically just going to go from your starting position to where you finished.
okay.
So
That's valid.
yeah,
I and
because it gets pretty messy when you're kind of counting how many cars this guy passed and that guy passed.
It does, right? And especially like all depending on how you guys are going to be doing the scoring. If it's just strictly by looking at race monitor, or if the track's going to help you with that as well. Because I know they have some up in the tower who still does manually
Yeah.
check off. So it's
No,
tough to really
Brenda,
go.
yeah, Brenda's still going to be doing the scoring for
Yeah,
that stuff. So we'll obviously have race monitor as well, but
I still can't get over how much work she does for
yeah,
keeping you guys all in track. That's all I can say. I watched it the one day last year, and
oh
it
yeah,
was crazy.
yeah, yeah. And you definitely don't want to get on her bad side because she'll give you an earful. She knows what she knows.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about a couple of the sponsors that you have right now. Longtime supporter of your racing career, London Recreational Racing. They're going to be sponsoring the first race on May 24th. Obviously, Mike's been a huge supporter of yours. You guys have gone back quite a ways. As far as I've ever watched, you've been watching. No, as long as I've ever been watching you race, you've always had London Rec on the car. So I felt like that was a great partnership right there for you guys to
Yep.
have, for him to jump on in as a race sponsor. Um, talk about the other sponsors you have here for this series who are going to help you out along the way.
So July 5th is Edgar Excavating Night. Edgar Excavating, it's a company based out of London. And actually, Brandon Edgar, he races. He's the 4 Superstock. He's one of the drivers that are fully committed to running the 5 races,
Okay.
and he's also running Delaware as well. It's a great. He's on board, and he loves it. So each night we sponsor, they're going to actually have the VIP tower. Other than Mike's night, because he already has the tower for the Daco race,
Yep.
so he didn't really need it twice in the year kind of thing. Actually, when details get worked out with the series sponsor, that's actually they're going to have the tower that night for Mike's
Okay.
race, and then yeah, so Edgar Excavating, they're going to have the tower. They're going to have a couple of machines there and stuff on display on the other side. Morris's Hot Rods. He actually helped build my dad's last car.
Okay.
Not obviously not the car we got now.
Yeah.
The old IROC black car. He actually helped build it. Morris, he's been around racing for a long time since cast car started. Actually, Wayne Keeling used to race super late models for him back in the day, and he's been a long time supporter for me as well. Actually, since I think I started running cars. Epic Racewear, they're coming on board too. Those details haven't fully been ironed out yet on how much they want to do. In a perfect world, we'd like to do a draw for the fire suit from second the points championship.
Yeah.
And they're probably do a flag thing, pole award, because it's going to be time trials actually for each night, other than the Twin 25 night.
Yeah.
So that's kind of they're coming on board, and that's all I can actually release details right now. Some of the other ones I gotta iron out the details, but definitely be on the look here for the next 2 weeks. There's going to be a lot of details getting released here.
Awesome. The one thing I do notice here is that I think is really great for you guys as a series is that you guys are also going to be doing on the single feature nights. There's going to be time trials, like you said, and then it's going to be a 6+1 dice roll to equal number of cars inverted.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know the inversions help out. Straight up, you kind of already made your bet. Now you got to kind of lie in it, kind of thing, for the most part. What was the reasoning to do the inversion for even just doing for the series?
Well, I wanted trying to organize with the limited tires, how not to, if you ran double features every 5 races, technically now you're in a 10 race deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't like heats. I've never growing up. Heats to me was always a toxic, vicious race. There was an era, especially at Flamboro, that you made more points in the heat race than you did in the features. And you start getting to the point where guys are tearing cars up before the features even started. So with the qualifying, obviously to set the starting order, I didn't want to make it a boring race. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? The guy starts on the pole and it just, he's the fastest car.
Yeah.
So with guaranteeing the 6 cars and then plus the dice roll, and who knows, like if there's a night when there's 20 cars, I'm gonna have to add another dice. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But and it helps for the hard charger deal. You know what I mean? So that guy is going to be making hard charging points, kind of thing, for
Yeah.
the season. So, and it gives some of the guys like the mid pack guys. You know what I mean? If the invert, they're starting the front row. Like it's a lot easier to hold your lane than it is to pass cars. So you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And it's one of those things that Superstocks, the times are so close between most of the competitors now, with
Yeah.
most of the tracks like matching the rules and stuff. So it's going to be a show.
Yeah, that's the plan. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird for me to say because I'm going to be kind of competing this, but like I would like to see 5 different winners for all 5 races. You know what I mean? No repeats, because then that's a tight series. Like, you're not one repeat winner, then there's a tight series.
That's what you want. Like you don't want to see the same guys dominating each week. You do want to have new winners because it helps create the storylines as well for the next race, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Um, Now I want to go back to the inversion real quick because obviously time trials is going to be right at the beginning of the night. I'm going to assume it's going to be as soon as the 6:30 happens. That's qualifying is going to happen for you guys. Um, is there anything special with the inversion that you guys are going to do or want to do, or is it just going to be kind of whoever has it's going to be done in the tech shed once we know who's the poll winner is going to be?
It's actually funny you say that. I would like to do like an actual big full dice, like
Yeah.
a big one like that, and then have the guy doesn't come out in the front straightaway and roll it when you get the fans involved. You know what I mean? Not just in the back tech shed. I don't know. That doesn't promote the series. It doesn't really, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the fans aren't really involved, and then they get confused because like that guy was a fast car, but how come now he's starting back here? You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely. It's actually funny you say that because we were actually talking about that last week, me and my dad.
But I was so happy that was your answer, though.
Yeah, yeah. They're easy to do,
Oh
the
yeah,
3D printed one or whatever, and yeah,
Get 3 young fans from the stands to roll it onto the track.
yeah,
yeah.
exactly, exactly. You know what I mean?
Get the
And
fans
like
involved,
with
right?
the having the time in between, like, and it's like on the dates, there's some pretty cool nights. Like the August 2nd night's literally kids ride night. Let's say like the night we're there. You know what I mean?
That's
So
perfect.
when kids ride nights going on, and I think, don't quote me on it, but I think the June date is meet the drivers night. You know what I mean? So get the driver to pick a kid and be like, hey man, if I qualify on the pole, you got to come down and roll my dice. Like, that's how you get the fans involved. And then next thing you know, they're gonna love the series, and it's gonna keep growing from here. Like, I'm not giving up on this. I would like this to be a long term deal. Um, it's hard, John. I finally kind of got through John's head. It's hard to get guys to come for even 12 races, especially on Saturdays. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Delaware, they're kind of got a thing going for them because it's Friday night. Yeah, you're rushed to the racetrack and everything, but Friday night you race, you're done, and Saturday and Sunday you can still hang out with the wife and
Yep.
have plans with her and stuff. You know what I mean? Um, but I the 5 races once a month. At least one Saturday I'm not going to be able to go out with the wife to dinner or whatever. You know what I mean? So
No weddings to attend.
yeah, we're eating Flamburgers. Yeah.
And I'm looking at the schedule here on Flamboro, just so and you're right. June 21st is Meet the Drivers Night, which again helps out. Like
Yeah.
to me, that's gonna help out the show as well. Um, was it May 24th is the first race? Yeah, you got Pro Lates, Pro Challenge, Mini Stocks, Pure Stocks. Great card for
Yeah.
that night. And yeah, you're right. You're right before Steel City Super Stocks, the week before the APC race and the Dayco Super Stocks. No excuse for guys to not come out, get some laps in, because how many times have we seen so many, almost the double amount of pro lates show up the week before the APC race just to get testing in? Because what if don't you can correct me on this, is that once the season starts, you only have 3 test sessions, right? That you're allowed to completed.
That I don't really know on the late model side of things. I don't think the super stocks we have that.
Okay.
Um, I don't really know. I'm not a practice guy. Like unless there's a big problem, you don't really see me going testing at the track unless I go on a race day.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big believer. Get paid to practice. So. Uh,
Oh, did we lose them?
I think so. I thought it was me though.
I thought it was me too.
No, it's him.
I don't really know. I know there was.
Sounds like Marvin the Martian going off right now. Hey, he's back. Oh, maybe.
You
No.
Uh-oh. Looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulties with Justin right now.
He must be uploading all that new sponsor info to the website all at the same time as podcasting with us. So while he's having technical difficulties, do we get to see the collisions or Collisons run against each other one more time?
That'd be interesting if it does happen. Uh, it would be great to see, but I'm gonna message Justin now just to make sure. Oh,
Now it's just iPhone. We know what he's using.
uh,
If he had an Android, that wouldn't have happened.
I'm an iPhone user.
Yeah, where'd your MacBook go?
Well, I sold that, but that thing was a 2017 model, and it lasted till 2024. So I'll take it as a victory. Oh, Justin, are you there?
guys got me?
We got you
Hey,
back.
look who's back.
Yeah,
Ish.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Oh, he gone again.
Uh-oh.
Feels like an episode of Family Guy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh man, what is going on?
I don't
You
know,
hear me?
man.
Kind of.
You guys got me now?
Yeah, we got you. You're a little fuzzy, but that's about it.
You guys got me now?
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
you.
sure.
You're good.
If you ever wonder
Dancing
what was on
around.
the other
Alright.
side of that Verizon commercial,
Yeah,
can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
yeah, literally. Yeah,
So
sorry
we
about
missed
that,
the
boys. I don't know
last
what happened
bit. We missed the last little bit of what you were saying. So I don't even. If you remember what you said, feel free
I
to
don't
say
even,
now.
Yeah, I don't know where I lost you guys at, where I left off.
Feeney, do you remember?
God, you're asking the wrong guy.
Because I forgot too.
I know we're talking
yeah.
about practice sessions.
Yeah, practice.
Right.
So
Talk
the
about
last I
practice.
remember, the practice sessions is you got one set of tires to practice with that were APC stamped. After that, you couldn't buy another set. So a lot of people wouldn't practice with old tires
Oh, okay.
because me and Justin would take old tires all day long. But
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I didn't really practice at all.
I always do one shakedown usually.
Yeah.
But even like for me, like the mini stocks going to sunset for opening night, so I get paid to practice. I might take the modified to sunset to shake it down for practice. But
Yeah. Well, like last year at Frostfest, we had a motor issue the last race at Delaware, and we had to get a new motor. And literally, the shakedown was Frostfest.
Oh, jeez.
I didn't even go the week before or anything because we didn't get the motor till Thursday night. and it was a big rush. Well, not a big rush, but we got because there's an exhaust system we got with it. So that was actually probably the most time consuming was getting the new exhaust routed to the through the car through the bars. But yeah, it was there was no time to test that motor, so it was kind of a hope and a prayer that it was going to work out real good, and it actually did. We showed a lot of speed at Frostfest, but unfortunately, I got on top of Wilkie there at one point and had to come from the back again, and it was easy to make your way back to the front when there was only 7 cars, but when you're coming back from 19th, I think I got back up to 9th, I think, but we ran out of laps. We needed it to be a 75 lapper.
So I was talking with John when you were having some connection issues there. Any chance we see your dad come out for one of these races, or?
Actually, the car's there. We are kind of doing renos in the shop, but when stuff is done, yeah, I would like to run against them again. I don't think it'll probably be 1 or 2 races. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the last one at Frostfest. It's been a while since me and him battled for an igloo. It'd be cool to do that again.
Oh yeah, that'd be
Which,
great to see.
which brings the question: you're running for the igloo and your dad's in front of you. Do you use the bumper?
Oh, I did, buddy. 20, in 2018, it was double features, and him and Bentley were kind of battling, and I sent the 3 wide and passed both of them, and that was actually a Cinderella story that day. We buried Grandpa on the Thursday. He passed that week, and me and him actually tied for the win for the igloo. And because he beat me in the first one, he ended up getting the igloo. But it was still a Cinderella story. But yes, I am not afraid to use the bumper on the old man. he's not afraid to use the bumper back on me.
As the way it should be.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We talked about earlier off camera, off recording, that we know what Flamboro is now offering. As long as you compete 100% of the races for your division, the following year you get a free season pass for the driver.
Yeah.
Now, you brought it up that it's also now being extended to the super stocks as well. For super stock drivers to get the pass, what do they have to do?
So they have to run all 5 races and then Frostfest. And I mean that's pretty fair commitment to ask from the guys. Like a season's pass. Me and Dad did the math there last week. I think it's like $2,000 or something like that. Like it's crazy how many nights there is. Well, however many nights there are times 45.
Yeah.
Might even be more than that. So, and like let's face it, if you ran 5 races at Flamboro and you're not going to come to Frostfest, unless you have something happen with your car, like Frostfest is usually the race that everybody comes to. Not, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So
because it's the end of the year. It's quote unquote our playoffs up here. Like it's it's the last race of the season at the track. Like you got to come on out.
yeah, and Mike Schmidt, him and my dad, they started kind of organizing it. I think the first Frostfest was 2008. They organized it, and then it was just mini stocks and Thunder cars. Now, obviously, with the way of evolution, he's expanded now to helping out some of the other series. Like I know, he did something for the Wedge cars one year.
Yep.
The hot rods, I think he did one for them, and Mike's a big supporter of Frost. Like him and Dad, they started Frostfest.
Yep.
That's his thing, and it was kind of a little bit cool. Like it was kind of last year at Frostfest. It was kind of came full circle. I wasn't like the little 12-year-old kid that was only just helping set up banners and stuff. I actually felt like I took a bit of a weight off of Mike's shoulders, looking after their super stock. We raised. Well, I got a silent partner to start for the original purse, and then I raised $5,900 of bonus money added
That's insane.
to already the $8,000 purse. So that was I feel like kind of gave back to Mike. Him and Dad kind of organized, and those guys are getting older.
Yep.
It's guys got to start stepping up to the plate. You know what I mean? So it's
And
only
that's
a
the
matter of
thing,
time.
right? And that's the thing is, you're right. A lot of the older guard is going to be starting to phase out here over the next little bit, and we need younger people to really step up if they want to see this sport continue. And I applaud you. I applaud Mike for everything you guys are doing, not only for the series but for Mike especially at everything he's done at Flamboro Speedway, because that dude, like, he's been through a lot and over the last few years in terms of like continuing to support you got your program at other drivers programs, making sure the igloos, like, these
Yeah,
things are so much. And for Mike to continue on with all this, and let's be real, we all know there's times where people get into Mike's face about some of this stuff, but at the end of the day, we all got to be like, we applaud you for everything that you've done for short track racing at Flamborough, because without him, who knows where any of this stuff would have been over the last few years.
no, for sure. For sure. And I was like, that's kind of how Crosstoberfest started. Mike seeing how dedicated the mini stock and the Thundercar guys were to
Yep.
showing up every week. There was like Russ. Well, I don't think then the first year he sponsored Russ. He might have been, but you know what I mean. Like, he's just, they're blue collar guys. They're throwing a car together, and it's like the bone stock guys now, man. Like, I think I just joined the general meeting when they were talking about their schedule. Like, I think they got like 24 nights that they're racing. That's a huge commitment.
Oh yeah.
That's a big commitment. So,
Yeah, because
Mike, that's how it started. Mike wanted to do something for these guys, and it's crazy how much it's grown in the last. I guess we're almost coming up on almost 18 years
yeah,
in Frostfest. 2020,
crazy.
yeah, 2028 would be 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember back when it was still Frostfest and Oktoberfest were two separate events. You had
Yeah,
one before colors, one after colors.
yeah, and that was combining. I think combining them together definitely helped, especially on John's end of it, because until I think the last year before they combined it, like everybody saved their car for Autumn Colors, and then they came to Frostfest, and there was nothing for Oktoberfest,
Yeah.
and now it's now guys they run Frostfest and then they go down in Colors. You know what I mean? It was good that you finally unified.
Yeah, it's
Ch-
it's really good.
chasing that igloo is just as important as chasing that maple leaf.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah. I mean, everyone wants to have one on their mantle at home.
Yeah, I one of these years, hopefully, I can do it. Maybe this year will be my year. We'll see. Uh, the Leaf, I haven't had luck at Peterborough. I think the last time I was there, I ended up board sliding the wall in the Young Guns race, and the exhaust fell off the car in the feature, and we had really bad carbon monoxide poisoning. But
Oh, jeez.
well, I want to get back to Peterborough. I didn't get to go there last year, and if everything goes well here, I'll be there for the Dayco race, and you know, for sure, if we win Frostfest, for sure we're going Autumn Colors. If the car's in one piece and I can actually budget it, you'll see me up at Autumn Colors. Tim Terry, actually, he's going Autumn Colors, so he kind of told me that I got to be there.
Well, if
uh,
you're already going, you may as well bring the car.
Yeah, exactly, right?
so let's talk a little bit about that, because we've been talking about the Rumble series for the last little bit. You've been competing in the Super Stocks for what is it, since at least what 20? I want to say 2018 ish, maybe
my
2017.
my first year in a Superstock was 2015. I
Okay,
ran I ran
God
the
damn
six
it.
I ran the Chevelle all year.
Yeah.
Dad's old car, and then I started building my car. But I ran just basically limited schedule in between. I think our first full time season was 2019 or 2021.
Okay, that's what I
So
thought.
yeah. COVID was 2020, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like 2021 was kind of the first full time I ran the Daco Tour and the Flamboro Series. Almost won the championship. Came down to the final night between me and Nagy, but we had damage in the first feature and just couldn't rebound in the second one.
Yeah. Uh, but you've been an absolute staple in the super stocks for quite some time now. Um, what are your plans for the 2025 season in terms of racing?
Well, you'll see me the 5 races. You'll see me at every race of Flamborough that there's a super stock race. I want to do obviously the Daco, so that for sure I can commit to 4 of them, and the fifth one is going to be kind of hard. We're working on kind of getting that hiccup taken care of there for budget wise, and then one of the big dates that's on my schedule is the 70 lapper at Sunset. Um, I've had such fast race cars at Sunset, and I've just had terrible luck in the last 5 laps. Um, and I'm thinking hopefully this year I can turn that around, and that'd be a cool one to win. And also Sauble, they're doing the 70 lapper, the Stewart's Equipment race.
Yep.
About or no, theirs is a 75 lapper. Sauble's a 75, and I think Sunset's a 70.
I'm looking right now.
But yeah,
Is that the memorial race that's up there?
The Cassidy one, they're doing a prolate race. I think it's a Stewart's race as well at
Yeah,
Sauble for us, but I think that one's a 75 lapper.
I'm looking right now, just seeing where I can find it. Because I think it was, what day was it? I can. Oh, there it is. Damn, it doesn't say how many laps there it is.
Yeah, I think it was a 75 lapper.
Yeah.
This was Motorama. We could have Brad yell at us.
Yeah, I know, right? We're the one time we need Brad to actually yell at us, and he's not even here to do it.
Don't worry. I'm sure if he watches the show and we'll tag him like 6,000 times, he can answer the question.
Yeah, he'd be able to. Oh, there it is. 75 laps.
Yeah, so that's going to be a good one. I want to do that one. I've only got to run Sauble once, and it was in 2019, and I fell in love with the place real quick. It's a tight little bull ring, and you got to be up on the wheel, and those kind of tracks suit me. So I'm looking forward to getting back there.
Which is good because like it I love super stocks at Sauble because again I don't know why I like the flat tight tracks and like for super stocks to me Flamboro and Sauble are the two tracks that really work the best for them.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Turn my light on here.
For Sauble, I find it's a weird blend between Flamboro and Peterborough for how you drive it. Like one corner I feel drives like Flamboro, one corner I feel like drives like Peterborough.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I can see. Yeah, I can see that for sure.
Because it's got I think it's 1 and 2 have that weird apex.
Yeah,
and then 3 and 4 is like a little bit smoother, like a Flamboro turn.
Yeah. Well, getting off of 2 is real tight. That wall comes at you real quick. Yeah, I almost went down that wall. That was not fun. But we figured it out real quick in practice.
I was gonna say the past couple of years we've seen a couple of big incidents on that backstretch up at Sauble. Jake Sheridan the 1 year, and then wasn't there some?
Josh Stoddy, I think, did it 1 year too when I was there. I think 2019 when I was there, he did it.
And then I think it was a McNichol. I think it was Alvin McNichol.
Yeah. My dad was there that night. It was right in front of my dad.
Yeah,
I got GoPro footage of that somewhere.
I was riding along in a different car, and they were a little bit further back, but they caught the car as it's upside down, like coming down, and that's when the red flag came out, rain came, and then the night got ended.
Yeah, Yeah, that was that was a Dash for Cash night, I think.
That was the Dash for Cash night.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, so yeah, Super Stock Invitational, August 30th at Sunset Speedway, 70 laps.
yeah,
So,
yeah. That's a good one.
oh yeah. So for you, are you going to be competing full time at Delaware Speedway again, or are you just going to be mainly hitting up, focusing on the Rumble Series and the Dayco Series?
Yeah, I'm gonna just be focusing on the Rumble and the Dayco series. If everything's going well, you might see us there the last couple regular nights before the championship Dayco race, just to practice. Like again, paid to practice.
Yep.
So yeah, you'll probably see me there if everything's going well through the year. But yeah, right now I can only fully commit to the Rumble series and the Dayco series. Obviously, it ain't adding to the organizing the Rumble series kind of takes up a lot of time too. So
Oh yeah.
that's kind of where my focus is at right now.
Hey, nothing wrong with it. You got to do what you got to do, and I thank you so much for working on this on the Rumble series because it's to me it's much needed. It's nice to have a little like 5 race series, and it gets the guys out. It should bring
Yeah,
these guys out,
yeah,
and it conflicts on a few other dates for some other drivers, which you're not going to appease everyone. But I know Cole Burrows is going to come out for 2 of them. When
yeah,
I did his schedule, he's coming out to 2. Should be coming out to 2.
yeah,
Um, I know I'll be there for 2 nights, and I don't even remember which nights there. I know July 5th, 100% I'll be there,
yeah, yeah.
and I think June 21st, I think I'll be there too. We were, I didn't, I know I kept meaning to tell you the dates that I was going to be there.
Yeah.
We we've been
Hey, we're
talking.
everybody's busy, man. Everybody's busy. It's a busy world.
Oh, dude, and only race season's a couple weeks away here.
Yeah.
Oh no, 21st I'll be in Merrittville. So where will I? Okay, so one for sure. Yeah, July 5th I'll be there for sure.
Yeah.
That's the only one I can commit to right now.
Yeah.
So what are the 5 dates again? Just because like I don't think we've actually mentioned like in
No,
like
we
a
actually never
schedule
talked
order.
about the dates.
Well, the first one's May 24th, and then we have June 21st, July 5th, August 2nd, and then September 6th. The September 6th one, that's also another good night. That's John's annual corn roast that he does every year. And me and Dad will be cooking the hot dogs, the free hot dogs, like we always do every year. So that's another good night. I think John is getting a band again this year. So there'll be live music. I'm sure there'll be people camping and stuff. And, that's one thing about it. Like even like the Edgar night. There's a bunch of us super stock guys. We're going to be camping out. Um, like you can't say no. Like John doesn't charge for camping. You race and have a bonfire after the races, cook some steaks or whatever we're gonna cook, and just also race hard, but have a good time after. You know what I mean?
That's the
Let
way it
loose a
should be.
little bit. Yeah,
Be competitors on the track, but be friends, outside the track. Because then that's how, to me, I feel like that's how also helps how the sport grows as well.
yeah, no, for sure.
Unless you actually have beef with somebody, then settle it on the front stretch. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, well, Norris he said that in the drivers' meeting. He's got three different sizes of boxing gloves, and yeah, he wants guys to settle it on the racetrack. So
Now, what is it gonna take for us to set up a boxing ring right by Victory Lane? Like set
yeah,
it up on a track trailer or something, so I can just like, after the race, it's like I got an issue with you. It's like I got an issue with you. Okay, bring out the start
yeah.
finish line. Bring it out there.
Hell, me and
Settle
Lane
it.
told me. Hell, me and Lane told John if he pays us $200 each, we'll go and box each other just for the fun of it.
Why does that not surprise me though?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I love
He's
that.
one. He's one of the 13 guys that are committed to run the whole thing. So it'll be good. getting a battle him for a championship again at Flamboro. 2022 is pretty fun getting a battle for a championship with him. So
Yeah. And it's good when you get to race against people you've known for a long time. And I don't know if they want to be announced or not, if they've made any intentions, but do you want to talk about any of the drivers that you're excited that are coming out to run the full series?
from my understanding, they're going to be on the website here, at Flamboro website, in the next couple of days.
Perfect.
I've been kind of been talking to Kevin, and I believe when the registrations come in, he's putting them on basically like on the website right now. So they should be released 2 days from now or whatever. Well, like some of the guys like Roy Wilkie, he's confirmed he's coming back to defend his championship from. He was the last champion, right? Yeah,
Yep.
2020. Yeah, he was the last champion. So yeah, he's coming back to defend his championship. We're getting some of the old Flamborough guys out too. Dennis Sabalski, he's making the full effort, and Nick Trobeck's actually he's kind of he has disappeared. He bought a boat apparently. That's why we haven't really seen him in the last little bit. But that's like again a guy like him, he can commit to 5 weekends pretty easy in the summer season with the boat. You know what I mean? He still can take the kids to the boat and stuff on all the other weekends. So yeah, it's pretty cool to have those guys back. Those kind of I grew up watching those guys racing against my dad. In the
Yeah.
Thunder cars. Those guys were the staple of the Super Stocks. Some of the other guys, I'm going to let them announce their own when they're fully announcing their commitment to it. Nagy, I haven't got a straight answer from him yet. He says he's working on it for sure. One of the cars will be there, but well, I know his big commitment right now is for Delaware. He runs real good down there, so.
Yep.
But I know he is working on trying to get the sponsorship to support both. So that'll be another fun guy to be battling against. And Bailey Jacobs, he's hauling all the way from Peterborough, all 5 races a race.
Hell
That's
yeah.
that's commitment. That's commitment. So
Oh yeah.
that'll be good having him there. And yeah, for now that's only kind of the names I can kind of mention.
No worries.
Yeah, because I think last year Bailey raced at Sunset full time.
I believe so, yeah, because he wanted to run Flamboro, and then John canceled the class. So yeah, I think he went to Sunset.
That's understandable. But it sounds like you guys are gonna have a good group this year. I'm excited for you because I love super stock racing. I think it puts on better racing than the late models. I'm gonna be honest with everyone right now. And
It's a
I'm
little more
excited.
physical.
Huh?
So they're a little bit more physical. Late models that cost too much.
It's old school. We'll just call it old
Yeah,
school.
Yeah, it's old school.
yeah, exactly.
But I'm excited for you. I'm excited for this opportunity to really showcase the super stocks. If there's anything I can do to help, please do not hesitate to ask. I would love to help out in any sort of way that I can. We're gonna talk off screen because I do want to see what where Joe Media Promotions can help out, maybe a little bit financially wise. So I do want to talk to you about that just to see what we can come up with. But before we're gonna let you go here in just a minute. But I do have to thank you for taking the time to join us tonight. Before we let you go, as I do with every single guest we got, because you're a racer, you got marketing partners that help you with your season. And I know they're a big part of how you get to be on track week in and week out. So, with that being said, you're going to have the floor for the next few minutes to thank everybody and everyone. Your sponsors could be your very first sponsor from when you were, just starting out in carts, all the way to, today. It could be your dogs, could be cats, could be any animal that you want to thank as well. But the floor is yours. So, take it away.
Well, no, obviously is for sure. Gotta start with the sponsors, man. Like Mike Schmidt, London Recreational Racing. Like I been sponsoring me since I was in go karts. Um, Air Crane Service and Tri County Sandblast, and they've actually stepped up huge this year. They're kind of a new sponsor. They've actually really stepped up this year. I'm excited to continue that partnership with them. They're a great group of guys. Morris's Hot Rods. guys like them. We still need them in the sport. They've seen a lot of stuff in their lifetime, and he's a good mentor to have around, and very wise. Those guys are very wise guys to have. And obviously, I got like all my family around me. My girlfriend who is cooking me a lovely dinner right now. My dad for sure, like and my grandfather. Without those two, I would not be half a bit of the racer I am, or well, kind of the promoter I am now too. I guess I'm kind of wearing two suits, and the rest of the sponsors as well. Route 19 auto parts. I'm actually Strong Point Automation. I think they're going to come on board this year. It's actually my work. They're That's kind of cool to see them coming on board. And I got to thank you guys, man. If it wasn't for you guys doing this kind of stuff, there would be no exposure about racing, even though racing exists. And you guys do an awesome job of telling like storyline. I think that's kind of what's been lost a little bit in the last decade or so, is the stories behind, like the storylines where drivers came from, like what the adversity they're battling to get to the track and stuff like that. Like, you guys do a great job at that. Really, thank you guys for what you guys are doing. And yeah, that's about it.
Perfect. You got something there?
No, I'm just trying not to cough
Oh,
on camera as
you
much.
look like you were about to say something. Honestly, I agree with you though, and thank you for those kind of words there about our show, because in everyone's show who does talk to racers, because I felt like it was a lost art. It was when I first got into racing, I kind of knew who is who and where they came from and what they were doing, and shortly after, it's just like you don't see anyone posting about being at supporting their sponsors. You don't see interviews from Tracks, or Tracks doesn't promote their divisions anymore. I remember seeing me and the wife, we talk about it, and she hates me for it some days, because I remember back in the day when, especially for the Triple Crown race, the either New Country 95.3 or even 94.7 now down in Hamilton, they would promote the race, but they would actually use the drivers' names in the ad. So it's like, this Saturday is the second round of the Drysdale Triple Crown, 100 laps for late models. Come on out and see track favorites: Jason Shaw, David Elliott, Gary Elliott, Jeff Stewart. They're gonna go head to head for 100 laps. See you at the track. Tickets, information, flavor. I'm like, dude, like, I knew who these guys were even from just listening to the radio.
Yeah. Dad. They did that for a bit with Dave FM. That was sponsored by Dave FM, and it's actually when Lucas Oil sponsored the racetrack.
Yep.
They did the Lucas Oil race report every week, and it was the same thing.
I love it.
Randy the Rocket Ross, Brad the Iceman Collison, like all the nicknames.
They got all the nicknames, right? Like,
yeah, it was that kind of has been kind of lost, I think, a little bit, and I think we're kind of on the right track. So hopefully that stuff's gonna start coming back again, and the exposure is gonna start coming back more. Yeah, I hope so. Anyway.
Okay, now thinking of Dave FM, were they at the track one night when it was kids ride night?
I don't know.
I don't know if I don't remember if you were young enough to remember that or not.
No, I don't think it was kids riding. I do know they did a race, like we had the Chevelle and Dad's Monte Carlo, and the two announcers, they raced against each other. They did like a 5-lap race against each other.
Did they really?
Yeah, one guy drove the Chevelle, and then the other guy drove Dad's car, and it was the two announcers raced against each other. I think actually it was Dave and Dave, if I'm not mistaken.
Because I remember a kids ride night where it was put on by a radio station. I don't remember which one, because I was over in the pits with David Elliott. But David and I think it was Sean Chenoweth were the last two cars on track, and they were ripping around the girls from the radio station. And
it could have been them, actually.
Maybe.
It could have been. Yeah, it could have been.
I don't know. I remember that night because it was just hilarious hearing them. Just all you hear is screaming, and it wasn't the car.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Um,
definitely. I think, I think that was a Dave night too. They've done a lot of cool promotion stuff, actually.
we we needed more of this stuff. Like, let's be real. That's the stuff we need. We need to see that more.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure because it's great to see you jumping into to talk about the Steel City Rumble series. I'm excited to come on out. I'll be there July 5th. Obviously because I'll be there with Tenley Pepin for the Ontario Pro Challenge. But like I said, we're gonna talk off screen because I would want to talk to you about a couple things before you go eat your delicious meal that your girlfriend's making for you. And so as we let you go, thank you to everyone listening to the True North Racing podcast this week. I appreciate everyone. Hopefully everyone had a great Easter. Thank you to all our sponsors, Pets Pro Painting, Driving with Haley, Darren Dryden, DJD Gear, DJD Graphics for everything they do for the show. Brandon Feeney, I'm John Morrison. We'll see you guys next time here on the True North Racing Podcast. See you guys.
Thanks for tuning in to the True North Racing Podcast. Be sure to follow us on social media for more racing content and updates. You can find Jomo Media and Promotions on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and at jomomedia.ca. Until next time, keep your engines running and your belts tight.